What's up, Buttercups? Today I'm back with another video, and today we're going to be doing a Black Rose Dragons video. And yes, I actually won a ranked duel with Black Rose Dragons. And I never even got to summon Black Rose Dragon. It was the craziest time. I struggled the entire time. I could not get a tuner type monster out on the field. I just had plants, nothing but plants on the field. So I'm playing against Sky Strikers, and luckily I'm playing against Sky Strikers because they don't have really any high attack monsters that come out. And Carrot Weight Champion and Gigantic have literally led me to victory, and this did end up as a surrender for them. I just couldn't get a combo off. Like, I couldn't get the other Rose Dragons in my hand, so it was kind of a struggle, but we did it. So he steals my Gigantic on turn 1, which is interesting, and banishes my Carrot Weight. And then he sets a lot of quick play spells, as Sky Strikers does. I don't even know what this does. Like, if you control, you can basically like look at the top card of your deck, but you have to pick monster, trap, or spell, but I don't understand what it exactly does. And then I special summoned using my field spell, so I could get something out on the board. And from the graveyard I special summoned my Carrot Weight. He got Kagari on the field, and it's a prismatic, beautiful prismatic. Into Shizuku? Shizuku? I can't even read that. I think it's Shizuku. Yes, Shizuku. And then he gets a token on his field. Again, I select monster card? I don't know. I do a little wee tad bit of damage. You know, a whole 300. I don't know if White Rose Cloister is worth having in my hand, but I guess it could come in handy. He Pot of Desires, gets the Sky Striker Mecha. He uses Ash Blossom and my Carrot Weight to link summon Halifax. Halberfax, whatever its name is, which gives my Gigantic 200 extra attack because a plant monster was sent to my graveyard, which was the Carrot Weight. I'm starting to think the Rose cards themselves are not that great, and I should just be playing a plant deck. I summon Rox Rose, and he uses his anchor again, steals my Rox Rose, or I could have gotten Black Rose Dragon out that turn. So that was unfortunate. Carrot Weight went to the grave there. He activated Max C, so he would gain a card. I attack his Halberfax and my own Rox Rose. Did a little tiny bit more damage. Yeah, this is a very slow game. Special summons Sky Striker Ace, and then he just ends up surrendering. And that's a win. So I will count that as a win. I won with a Black Rose Dragon deck. I'll show you the Black Rose Dragon deck right now. let's take a look. I would not copy this deck if I were you. This is so rough. This deck has gone through hell and back. Alright, so we'll start off with the beginning. We have Rose Lover. This card's pretty good because you can special summon a plant monster from your hand, and it's unaffected by opponent's trap effects this turn. This card has to be in the graveyard and you banish the card, but it's still pretty good. It helps you get out, like, if you need a tuner on the field, or if you just need a non-tuner on the field to summon Black Rose, that helps. I put Unknown Synchron in here, which is a machine tuner effect. It's just so I have another tuner. And if your opponent controls a monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. And it's only allowed to be used once per duel, that's why I only have one. So it's just another tuner outlet in case you need one to synchro. Once per turn, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls and add a predator counter on it, and if it is a level 2 or higher, it becomes level 1 as long as it has a predator counter. At the start of the damage step, when this card battles a monster with equal or lower level, you can destroy that monster. So this is pretty strong. It's basically, you can destroy any monster on your opponent's field. And then this card gains the increased level of the original level of the destroyed monster. We got Lone Flower Blossom. I wish I had more of these. They're pretty handy. Once per turn, you contribute one face-up plant monster, including itself, I should say, and then special summon a plant monster from your deck. Any plant monster from your deck, so that comes in handy. We have an Ash Blossom in here just because I got one from the bundle, and it comes in handy sometimes, and it's also a tuner, so you can use it to synchro. Then we have one of the main cards in the deck, Red Rose Dragon. If this card is sent to the graveyard as synchro material, you can special summon a Rose Dragon monster from your hand or deck. Very nice, very nice. I don't see much utility in this card. I don't use it very often, but it says if your opponent controls a monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. If summoned this way, treat this card as a tuner. This is nice, because it's treated as a tuner, but I don't know why it wouldn't work for me. But I couldn't get it to special summon from my hand when my opponent had a monster. I don't know. Another main card for the Rose deck is Rox Rose. If this card is normal or special summon, you can add one card that specifically lists Black Rose Dragon in its text from your deck to your hand, except itself. And while this card is in your graveyard, if a face-up Rox Rose Dragon, monster, or plant synchro monsters you control is destroyed by battle or an opponent's card effect, you can add this card to your hand. So if your synchro monster gets destroyed, you can add this back to your hand basically from the graveyard. So it's kind of a recycle. This was kind of a throw-in. This is Mystic Tomato. When this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon one dark monster with 1500 or less attack from your deck in face-up attack position. So this is just to try and get another synchro material onto the field, and almost all of the Rose Dragons have less than 1500 other than the Red Rose, which is pretty good. You know, this is a snowball. We'll get there. This one is kind of your main. Then we have Gigantic, and this card comes in handy more than I thought it would. I wish it was a tuner instead of a plant, but it did come in handy. It did come in handy. It says this card gains 200 attack for each plant type monster is sent to the field to the graveyard. So anytime a plant monster goes to the graveyard, 200 attack, and it starts with 1850, which is pretty high. So it'll go to 2050 after that. It's kind of a stall card, just so I'm not getting absolutely destroyed the whole time. Then we have a blue rose. When this card on the field is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can target one black rose dragon or plant monster in your graveyard and special summon it. So this comes in handy. So if you have any rose dragon in your graveyard, you can special summon it when this card gets destroyed, basically. It's another recycle. Then we have Carrot Weight. This is a good add-in. It's come in handy more than I thought, honestly. If this card is in your graveyard, you can send one plant monster from your hand or face up from your field to the graveyard, except this card, and special summon Carrot Weight Champion. And you can only use it once per turn, but it is pretty strong. It's a 1900 4-star, so it's nice. Here's kind of the main card of the deck, White Rose Dragon. Of course, it's a normal. That is the main card. Crazy, I know. When it's normal summoned, you can special summon a Rose Dragon monster from your hand or graveyard, except itself. You can only use the effects of White Rose Dragon once per turn. It also says if you control a Dragon Tuner or Plant Tuner, you can special summon this card from your hand. So that's kind of a nice, easy buy. If you have a Plant Tuner on the field or a Dragon Tuner on the field, you can just special summon this from the hand, which kind of snowballs very nicely into Black Rose Dragon. If this card is sent to the graveyard as a synchro material to make Black Rose Dragon, of course, or one of the other dragons, you can send one level 4 or higher plant monster from your deck to your graveyard. That can come in handy, but not one of its main effects. Next we have the Queen Angel of Roses. You can tribute summon this card in face-up attack position by tributing one plant monster. Once per turn during your standby phase, destroy one face-up monster on the field that has the lowest attack. Your choice if tied. So this is a monster destroy, basically. You can destroy any monster on the field. Well, not any monster. The one with the lowest attack on the field. So it thins out your opponent's field just a little bit. So it comes in handy. I haven't gotten to use it quite yet, but I think it would be good. This card's probably replaceable, honestly, for some sort of tuner. Dragon Tuner or Plant Tuner. I honestly think I need more tuners in this deck, plant and dragon based, just because of this card. Destroy all monsters your opponent controls. Raigeki is always a must-have. Harpy's Feather Duster comes in handy. Destroy all spells and traps. Special summon a monster in either graveyard. This can come in handy too, just in case you need some more bulk from your opponent, if your opponent has something crazy in there. Or you can special summon something along the lines of, you know, your Rocks Rose, because it has the effect, if it's special summoned, you can add a card that from the deck to the hand, basically, that says Rose Dragon on it. And then if you just want to get a tuner on the field, you can get Red Rose Dragon. Next we have Rose Bell of Revelation. Add one plant monster with 2400 or more attack from your deck to your hand. You can banish this card from your graveyard and special summon a plant monster with 2400 attack from your hand. So this is good, mostly for the Queen Angel of Roses. This is another probably replaceable card. Nothing else in the deck has 2400 or more attack. So this card is just for this card, which isn't too good. I mean, and they're SRs, so you could definitely get rid of these two cards. And then replace them with some sort of Dragon Tuner or Plant Tuner, I would say. Lightning Storm is great. It's a good Outlich counter, and so on and so forth. If you control no face-up cards, activate one of these effects. Destroy all attack position monsters your opponent controls, and destroy all spells and traps your opponent controls. You can choose either one. I run 2 of these. Then we have Thorn of Malice. Equip only to Black Rose Dragon or a plant monster. It gains 600 attack. If the equipped monster attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing damage. This can be really handy. I really like this card. If you get rid of this and this, maybe you can add 2 more of these, but I think 1 is enough. If the equipped monster attacks a monster after damage calculation, the attack monster loses 600 attack and defense. An opponent's monster that battles with the equipped monster cannot be destroyed by battle. So this is really good to put on your Black Rose Dragon. It gains a nice 600 attack, and it cannot be destroyed by battle. Black Garden is a must. It's your main field spell pretty much. If a monster is normal or special summoned face up, except by the effect of Black Garden, half its attack, then the controller of that monster special summons a rose token. It has 800 attack and 800 defense, and it's a level 2. And it's a plant, so that's nice. For their opponent's field and attack position, this card, this attack loss remains even if the card leaves the field. You can target one monster in your graveyard with attack equal to the total attack of all plant monsters on the field. Destroy this card and as many plant monsters on the field as possible. Then, if you destroyed all of them, special summon that targeted monster. So it's kind of a complex card, but it is very nice. You can basically special summon any targeted monster you would like. And of course, you'd probably want to do Black Rose or something similar. We have White Rose Cloister. This is an okay card. You can, if you control no monsters, you can special summon a Rose Dragon monster or a plant monster from your hand, which comes in handy. You can only use it once per turn. During the draw phase, this is what I don't quite understand. Maybe if I read it, I will. Before you draw, you can declare one card type, monster, spell, or trap, and reveal the top card of your deck. If it is the declared card type, apply the effects for the rest of this turn, even if this card leaves the field. If it's a level 7 or higher synchro monster you control, level 7 or higher synchro monster you control gain 1000 attack. So you can declare one card type, monster, spell, or trap, reveal the top card of the deck, and if it's declared card type, apply this effect to the rest of the turn. I'm still not too sure what that means. Maybe I'm just stupid. And if you have a level 7 or higher synchro monster, it gains 1000 attack, so that's handy. You gain an extra 1000 attack if you have a Black Rose or something level 7 on the field. Other would be Moonlight and Blossom. I have Trident Dragon in here just kinda as a meme. Anyways, we got Frozen Rose. Send one face-up monster you control to the graveyard. Apply this effect depending on its type it had on the field. If it's a plant type, during your end phase, you draw 2 cards and discard 1 card. This can come in handy if you just really need some cards. You draw 2, you discard 1 of the ones you don't want, and you get at least 1 of them. And then, if it's a non-plant, you can add 1 level 4 or lower monster from your deck to your hand. Also very handy. You can only activate 1 Frozen Rose per turn. Basal Rose Shoots. Special summon 1 Rose Dragon monster from your hand or graveyard in defense position. If this set card is destroyed, you can target 1 of your Black Rose Dragon or 1 monster that lists that card in its text that is banished or in your graveyard. Special summon it. This is nice. You just set this on the field. If it gets destroyed, you know, you get a nice summon. You can only use it once per turn. I'm running 3 Garden Rose Maiden only because I got 3 when I pulled packs. You only probably need 2. Garden Rose Flora, I only have one. I would probably run two. Queen of Thorns, I have in here. It's nice. Each player pays 1,000 life points for each normal monster, normal or special summon from their hand, except for plant type monsters. So this comes in handy if you're at the end of the duel. You just need like a couple thousand life points, and you don't want them to summon anything, and they are normal or special summoners. You put this on the field, they might take some damage, or it might stall them, so you can get out something to get the kill. A Splendid Rose comes in handy a little bit, not too often. Your main card is Black Rose Dragon. This is basically a field wipe. When this card is synchro summoned, you can destroy all cards on the field, and once per turn you can banish one plant monster from your graveyard and target one defense monster your opponent controls. Change that target to face-up attack position. If you do, its attack becomes 0. So this is free damage. You know, you flip a defense monster and you make its attack 0, and then you can just whack at it with Black Rose Dragon, and hopefully it would be equipped with either Thorn of Malice, or you have this on the field and it gains 1,000 attack, so you can do extra damage, up to 4,000, which is pretty nice. And then Moonlight, if this card is special summoned, or a level 5 or higher monster is special summoned to your opponent's field, target one special summon monster your opponent controls return to the hand. So basically, if they special summon anything level 5 or higher, you can return a card to their hand, which comes in handy again. I would play more Black Rose if you can, and if you have more Moonlights, you know, play 3 of each if you can. I just didn't pull any more than this. And one card we are specifically missing is Rudy Rose Dragon. If you have Rudy Rose, definitely put it in the deck. It is a UR, but it is very nice. We just have Empress of Blossoms here. I have 2 of them just for filler, basically. If you want 15 cards, you know, add whatever you have. I put in Trident here. This is a cool card. This is a very cool card. If you end up having a lot of cards on your side of the field, and you synchro this with a dragon type and a non-tuner dragon type, you can target 2 other cards you control, destroy those targets, and if you do, for each destroyed card this gains an additional attack. So this thing can do 9,000 attack damage in 1 turn, as long as you can, you know, get it out and banish 2 other cards. So you just need 4 cards on the field to do 9,000 damage. But they're kind of specific. It has to be a dragon type tuner and 1 or more non-tutored dragon types. So it's very situational, but it does come in handy, let me tell you. And then we have Battle Cruiser. I put this in here just because we have a lot of level 3s. So it does come in handy. It's 3 level 3 monsters. You can detach an XYZ material from this card and inflict 200 damage to your opponent for each card in their hand. So if your opponent max Cs and has a crap ton of cards in their hand, bam, pop this, you inflict 200 damage for every card. Say they have 10 cards, that's 2,000 damage. This is a very nice card, and it has decent attack for sure. And it's a plant monster, so if you have a tuner on the field, get out Black Rose then, etc. or Moonlight. And then we have Cross Rose Dragon. This just says you need 2 monsters with different types. Very easy to summon. During the main phase, it has a quick effect. Quick effects are very nice. You can tribute this card and 1 plant monster and special summon 1 Rose Synchro monster or 1 plant Synchro monster from your extra deck. This is treated as a synchro summon. If a monster you control is destroyed by card effect while this card is in your graveyard, except during the damage step, you can banish this card and special summon one rose dragon monster from your graveyard. This is nice. You get this out early, it hops into the graveyard, bam, you get a black rose dragon. It's very nice. It's very nice. It's kind of weak, not gonna lie. It is a link monster, but that's okay. If you have any suggestions for my Black Rose Dragons deck, please leave them in the comments below. I would be happy to hear from you. I am really struggling. I know this isn't perfect, but it is fun. So, that's all for today's video. My name is Mr. Buttercup. I make gameplays, guides, and stream sometimes. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.